When I get home, I'll play some golf.
I think you just have to go to the movie and see for yourself.
Yeah, I definitely was nervous, but I'm glad that, I guess it didn't come off like that.
Talk to me just how it feels to be almost done with the sea and marathon of press tours that you've been on lately.
I mean, this has definitely been the most mega press tour I've ever been on, but that said, I've had a great time. It's for two movies that I'm so endlessly proud of and just really grateful to be a part of. So it's been easy work.
And I mean, you've been with Peter Parker and Spider-Man for so long now. Given that you really almost grew up with him as a young adult, what is one trait that you really took away from the character that you said, I think I like that and I want to kind of keep that for myself?
I think my favorite thing about him and the thing that makes him so unique and so powerful as a superhero is his selflessness. He's a character that always goes out of his way for other people. He always makes the big sacrifice, even if it comes at the behest of his own life. And this movie kind of deals with the consequences of that in a really real human way. So for me, it would have to be his selflessness.
They're just through this film, he's finding himself again, finding a way to get his footing and stay grounded. What do you do to really find your footing, stay grounded? Who are the people you turn to, or just even the rituals that you do?
To be honest, I just play golf. Nothing is more humbling than thinking that you're good at golf and going out to relax and it just battering you. So for me, it would be golf.
Did you get to golf a little bit during this crazy marathon?
No. No. When I get home, I'll play some golf.
Oh, let me have you step right up to here. Hello, beautiful. You look stunning. Listen, every time we see you on a carpet, we know you're going to wow. We know there's so much collaboration that goes into it with law and even bringing the character and their fate into that thought as well. How much of the press tour for this movie was let's tell MJ's story through a lot of the costuming? Because I know the fans have been theorizing.
I think you just have to go to the movie and see for yourself.
Okay.
But of course we love to play with all the very, vivid storytelling that we already get to have. There's so much to reference and so much to play with. So we just like to have fun and extend that storytelling throughout the press tour.
Oh, that's a beautiful way of combining all of your art forms, right? And you're also going to be stepping into playing Ronnie Spector later this fall. How much research has already begun? How much prep has started already to make sure you portray her at her best?
Well, I've got the pleasure of knowing her when she was with us, which was such an honor, and she's such a unique human being, and I just want to, do right by her and her story. And then also, I've been a part of the film for quite a long time, so it's been many years in the making, and hopefully we can do it right.
One thing that I read was that Tom said in an interview, there was this level of confidence that Sadie brought immediately that first day on set that really shifted everything in such a good way. What does that mean to you, just to know that you walked in already and the aura was there, the energy was there, and kind of what did you do to set yourself up for that?
Oh God, I'm glad it appeared that way. I think there's always a level of challenge and excitement when establishing a new character in any environment, but especially in one that they've been here for 10 years. So yeah, I definitely was nervous, but I'm glad that I guess it didn't come off like that.
I mean, clearly no, they couldn't tell. And I mean, just stepping into a franchise like this with the fandom, I know you're used to the big fandoms of Stranger Things as well and other projects, but what do you love just about the way the fans are really ready to embrace whatever character, already not even knowing, just knowing that they love you and your work?
I know, it was such a warm embrace into the Marvel family. And a character I'm so excited about and so excited to be able to talk about very soon. But I don't know, it was Stranger Things and Marvel fan bases alike. There's so much passion and excitement and protection over these stories. So I feel, very happy to be joining it.
Very cool. And I mean, I know we're all excited. My last question for you is, there's the very, very, very known quote from Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. What does that quote mean to you, just as an actor and as a creative, being a part of this industry?
I mean, it's our job to tell stories and to bring characters to life, and sometimes characters that mean so much to so many people. So to do that justice and be a good representative of it, yeah, it's incredibly important.
And could we maybe see you in future Marvel projects?
We'll have to see.
Look, it feels great. I'm filled with gratitude. I'm so happy that I get to be here with my wife and my kids. You know, they've known Tom since he was 17. You know, we made our audition tapes together for these characters. Such a beautiful journey to kind of come full circle and to do this together, to do these two films together. And you know, my kids love Tom for Tom. You know, not even for being Spider-Man. They're probably the only three kids on the planet that love him for that. But you know, it's a real dream come true, and I'm just really grateful to be here with them.
I love that you all been able to kind of take that journey together.
For sure.
And one thing about you is you bring that East Coast energy everywhere you go, into your roles, into your interviews. What do you love just about being able to really represent that area, but also doing it in a way that's so unapologetic?
Oh boy, I mean, look, I am who I am. I can't hide it. You know, look, I'm from Washington D.C. It's the best city on earth. I love that I love that place. I love those people. I'm so grateful for how I grew up and where I grew up. And I don't know, I'm not doing anything on purpose, but that's just who I am and where I come from. And I'm so proud of that area. I'm so proud of what it stands for. And yeah, I'll always be DMV, always. Yeah.
Every time I see a video or a TikTok, everyone's like, "Yep, there he is, repping the East Coast through and through." And I mean, you get to, for Punisher, really had to dive in and do a lot of added research, making sure you took on this role. Can you talk to me about just what it was like collaborating
Sure, yeah,
with?
This is my friend Colton Hill. He's aside from being a wonderful human being, a great dad, a great husband, he's a Marine, Green Beret. Colton was there for every single thing I did on this. He started on One Last Kill with me, and it's such a huge honor to have him. I really want to get it right for him. I very rarely do. I just want to please him. But look, he's the best of the best, and I think the vets and the people that this character, really belongs to. It's such an honor to represent them and to represent a veteran, and I'm so grateful that Colton joined us.
Colton, talk to me just what it's been like working with Jon and seeing everything kind of come together.
I mean, exactly what he just said. Like, working with him is incredibly easy. He loves the community. He loves portraying a veteran. He takes it very, very serious. So it makes my job very easy. I'm super grateful for the chance to work with him. Working with him and Tom has been amazing on this set. I'm just glad to work with him. Honestly, it's amazing.
I love that. And my last question for you, Jon, is just stepping into the Punisher, seeing the way that the fans have really gravitated towards this character. What is one little bit that you wanted to bring as just an actor where you said, okay, this is the comic book character, but here's a little bit that's me and that will always be a part of me?
Look, I've said before, there's no way I could even begin to take this on if I wasn't a father and a husband first. I think until you truly understand what it means to love people so much more than yourself, I'd happily give my life for them. I'd do anything for them. So just the thought of somebody taking them from me, it takes me to a place that scares me, that changes my whole DNA. That's something that these folks that I respect so much, like Colton, it's something that I think they understand deeply in their core, and that's the thing. You just start there, and then everything else kind of follows.
I mean, this cast has been together for so many films now. They're so tight-knit. What was it like just being welcomed in your first day on set and joining, knowing that you came in already a very career thespian and just were able to add, that extra element to it?
Career thespian. I love that. I got to put that on my resume.
There you go.
Well, you said it. Welcome in. That's exactly what they did. I was told that it was going to be like a family on the set, and it truly was. Everyone was so generous. Destin is a wonderful director. Tom leads with a very generous and open hand, and everyone down the line was really just encouraging.
What have you done to kind of decompress, given the whirlwind that you've kind of been thrown into ever since, Severance?
Remembering to breathe. So much is happening, a lot, and not just within the industry, but just as the world as a whole. And sometimes you just have to take a second and breathe, take stock, and lean in with really great people in your village and in your community to support you and remind you that things are going to be okay.
And it's important, right? You don't realize it until you're in the moment and you're like, oh, I do need to take a step back. I do need to take a breath. And Severance is gone into production for season 3. I know Adam gave a little bit of a teaser today. Talk to me just about what you're looking forward to in terms of really expanding your character, because I know you've been able to give a lot of insight in the past, especially culturally, making sure that he was well represented in that way.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to continuing that relationship, to talking with our collaborators and really finding who this guy is in the midst of it.
What do you love as an actor, just about the world of Marvel, that would keep you coming back as they continue to ask you back to more and more projects?
I really love the morality of these stories. There's a lot of humanity at the heart of it, and I hope that when the audience sees Brand New Day, that they'll find that as well.
Are you able to give us any tidbit about X-Men?
No.
I love it. Thank you so much, Tramell. You were so.
If it's a good story, that's what turns me on. There's a whole lot of factors that come in. Who else am I working with? Timing. Do I have time to do it? Fortunately, I am still able to make choices and make decisions about what I can and what I want to do. So I'm very, very happy to say that I can do that.
Anytime we hear your voice or we see you on screen, I know it's going to be a great time. And just looking back on your career, what was that role for you where you said, I was already proud of myself, I was already in the moment, but after I took on this role, I had like a different way of really carrying myself or kind of pulling my shoulders back?
Well, I'm still looking. I'm still doing that. I mean, I can tell you that after Platoon, my life did change, and I've been fortunate enough to, 40 years later, I've been in at least one film a year since then. So that's been wonderful. And we hope it continues.
And you also have the Rick and Morty spinoff with
Yes,
President
indeed.
Curtis. Talk to me about just the joy of diving deeper into that world as well with this character.
I mean, what can be better than that right now? I'm very happy to be in the Rick and Morty universe and now have a universe of my own, which is very different than Rick and Morty. But what a springboard.
And you were just at Comic-Con promoting,
I was
right?
just at Comic-Con.
How was it just seeing the way the fans reacted to it?
I mean, it was a marvelous reaction. I mean, it was heartwarming and beautiful. And like I said, it makes me very happy to be here.
Thank you so much.
It was incredible. It was a dream come true. A lot of secrecy, but I knew I was in great hands. Destin, the crew, getting to see Jon again, and Tom is just such a beautiful love, like just a pure soul. So it's all been, I don't know, I'm just still pinching myself.
Oh my goodness! I mean, that's the beauty of these Marvel projects, is being able to be in there, see everybody again, and especially on the press tours as well. And I mean, as well, just stepping into Spider-Man, growing up with him, what was something that you loved about the character that you appreciate even more now, having worked on the project?
What I appreciate more now, and I think especially with this, is how personal it becomes. And that we get to see, these are superheroes, but they are people. They're humans. And really looking at the consequences of ignoring what we as humans need so much. Connection, community.
I wanted to also talk about The Bear. We've said goodbye to the show now in its final season. What was it like just that last day on set, being with everybody?
Still processing it. Like, everyone had different last days. So I feel like it's going to land on me later. But I know that I was part of something huge and historic. And I believe that. Not only did I feel it, but the feedback that I get from people all the time on how it affected them. And so I don't know. Like I said, pinching myself still.
And I mean, you're going to be making a return to Broadway soon. What are you most excited about being back in the theater and being back in that space?
I'm a theater kid, so that's where I started out, and to be back on Broadway is huge. I wasn't sure if I would get another opportunity with something that I love and respect. And this play, I was like, yeah, theater's really grueling. I'm not going to do it for... Really? Yeah, okay, and so I'm excited to start in the fall on this new...
Are you able to give us a little sneak peek or a hint?
I can't, but it's powerful. And it's so necessary. What I love about theater, and I think that everyone should study theater and know what it's like to be on that stage. There's no cut, let me do it over. You're going from start to finish. So the discipline, the process, the internal work, the rehearsal, it's a great training ground for when you finally are in front of the camera and you don't have the time to explore as deeply, but now you have the tools and you know how to set it. It's a different medium, and I feel very lucky.
My last question for you, Liz, is as your continues to grow, continues to blossom. I mean, we're here at a Marvel premiere celebrating you. What do you continuously tell yourself to keep yourself rooted and keep yourself grounded?
I tell myself this can change at any time, and to always be professional. Always. Take nothing for granted.
I'm absolutely, I was just at San Diego promoting Batman Nightfall, and I ran into so many beautiful people. Comic-Con community, you guys are the most welcoming, accepting, beautiful community I've ever been a part of, and I am humbled and grateful, and I hope to keep bringing you guys some kick-ass stuff.
And for you, just being on this set, what is one thing that you took away from it? Not necessarily from the character, but just from stepping into the role and really challenging yourself.
The physicality was really important, and I remember putting in so much work, being there in the Pinewood Studios, about to do this big fight scene with Spider-Man, Tom Holland, our #1, and I looked up and I saw a shooting star blaze through the sky, and that was probably one of my favorite memories of set. Yeah.
Wow, the universe really said, you got this, right? In that moment?
It's how I took it, yeah. I also had a nightmare about scorpions standing on top of me and my bedroom was on fire. But I'm gonna remember the shooting star. Yeah.
You said, oops, a little.
Tom Holland is a multi-dimensional actor, multi-dimensional human being. He's great off and on camera, as we all know. And he's actually a wonderful castmate. Very generous, he gave me pointers about my costume, and Destin applied it. At one point, there's a scene where I'm doing some action. He came and whispered something to me, and I was like, absolutely. And it just improved that moment. So it's a real joy. I hope we do it again.
But what has it meant to you just seeing the love that you've gotten already for this album, given that you were extra vulnerable and even more personal in terms of lyricism and even experimenting as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still processing it. I mean, I don't know yet. I don't know. I feel really happy. I'm really proud of this work, and it's awesome that, it's good. It's a part of Spider-Man, and so, I don't know. I'm hands off the wheel. Just, I'm down for the ride, but I'm really happy it's out, and it's been super positive, and a lot of love. So.
You and Sid had albums that came out right after one another. What has it meant to you just to really share those moments together, knowing that you all, I was just telling Jon Bernthal, I was like, you represent the East Coast so well, but I feel like you and Sid and just Tyler, so many people represent the West Coast in such a great way. What does it mean to you to kind of carry that responsibility?
Well, it makes it a lot easier to do together, so we had the same release day, and our bandmate Chris also dropped that day, so it's kind of nice to just do things together as a band, and I don't know, it's less like competition and more community, and so we keep that going, so it's a blessing.
Can we see more collaboration between the internet, or see you guys release something all together?
Yeah, we're trying to finish up our band album right now, so yeah, we're working on it.
Thank you so much, Sue.
I really connected with the theme of a person who feels completely alone. In Peter Parker's case, it's literally completely alone. And I think we all can relate to that feeling. And go on the journey with Peter as he learns the importance of connecting with the people he loves, learns that what his interpretation of with great power must also come great responsibility. His interpretation of that is not quite right. And I think when he learns the real lesson that his Aunt May was trying to tell him, it's a quite beautiful thing to watch.
I love that quote has resonated for years and years and generations, right? Where it came from a comic book, but it is something that people say to one another now before big moments or before big even job opportunities. What has that quote specifically meant to you?
I think it's very easy to think that quote means that it is our job to sacrifice everything for a cause. But I think the real truth behind the quote is that, yes, there are sacrifices that need to be made, but you also have a responsibility to yourself and making sure that yourself is being fulfilled and fed, and that's something that Peter is neglecting in the beginning of this movie and learns the lesson of throughout.
And for you, what was a scene, stepping back now, being able to look at it, that you say, wow, I wasn't sure about that, just in terms of the direction I was giving, or if it was maybe a little too big, but now looking back, seeing the project in full, I'm really glad that we took that risk.
Oh, there are so many scenes in this movie where we were taking risks and I was unsure how much of it would make it into the final cut. I've been pleasantly surprised at how much that we accomplished over the course of shooting this, and I attribute that to having some of the best actors in the world working in these scenes. And we would huddle if something wasn't working, and we'd figure it out and find something that felt true and real. And what I see on screen is something I'm so proud of and can't wait for the world to connect to.
And just with Tom and Zendaya's already established connection, how much did that add to just even MJ and Peter Parker's story?
I mean, you can't really fake chemistry on screen, and there's nothing like the chemistry between Tom and Zendaya and Jacob. When the three of them are together on screen, it's magic, and it's so fun to watch, and it really just feels like you're hanging with your friends again, and you know, that's why I go to the movies.
Thank you.
These world premieres like this are always incredibly exciting, but Hall H, where the real fans are, and the fans have waited so long to get in there, and waited, in our case, a couple years since we were last there, and you want to deliver for them. You want to deliver for them, and we brought a lot of stuff, and I hope they felt good about it. I mean, I did. It was a lot of fun being there and feeling that energy, in particular in their Doom masks for Robert Downey up there was really exciting.
Oh, they were ready, cape and all, and I mean, we got that amazing announcement about David Johnson joining as T'Challa's son. If you can, share with me just a little bit about what went into the decision of saying we're ready for David to really represent this story in this way.
Well, like all things Black Panther, it's Ryan Coogler. And Ryan Coogler called me one day, and we had not necessarily started the search yet. We were going to wait for Ryan to get through Sinners and get through the Academy campaign for Sinners. And in the middle of that, he called me and said, I found him. And I said, who? He goes, I found the next Panther. And he told me about David, and I was familiar with Alien Romulus and The Long Walk, but then watched many of his other films, and it was amazing. He said, I want to meet him. They went and had this covert meeting in the middle of Ryan's press tour, and he called back and said, he's the guy. Because not just because of his work, because of who he is. Because I could feel it. I could see what a good man he was. And we said, let's go. Let's do it.
And I mean, shooting on film as well.
Yes.
Was it just seeing the success of Sinners and the way that Ryan really guided the story on film, or what led to that decision?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a conversation with our directors on what format, what cameras they want to use, and Ryan had such an amazing experience on Sinners that he pulled out that strip of film on stage at Hall H, which is a first, and which is also really exciting.
I know the fans are like, okay, we're even more so ready for this, especially given it feels like Ryan really set the tone mainstream-wise for a lot of cinephiles to say, oh, I didn't know about the different formats of film and what it could really bring.
Ryan is a great film professor on top of everything else, and I love that he has taught people to appreciate and to know. And even my kids and my 13-year-old was saying, are we seeing this movie in 70 millimeter or 35 millimeter? What's the aspect ratio? I love that.
It's so beautiful to see. I hope it brings more people into theaters. My last question for you. I know there are rumors of the X-Men reboot. Are you able to tell us maybe if that's going to be announced later on, if there will be announcements? Because I know some fans are waiting for it at Hall H later.
There's always, no matter what we show, the great thing about Marvel and the depths of characters that we have is there's always something else for people to ask about. And to those people, I'll say, good things come to those who wait, and good things come to those who watch Spider-Man Brand New Day.
There you go.
Thank you
so much.